Good evening, guys, and happy Friday, Saturday to all of your sunshiny faces. I'm thrown off because of the extended weekend and my dad already being home on Friday, so I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. Also too, guys, I am completely ready for bed right now. All I need to do is put my PJs on and I am getting in bed. I brushed my teeth already. I ended up actually, I took a shower way earlier today because I was out in the garden. We ended up getting the entire, well, woke up this morning, we ended up going to Menards. We ended up getting potting soil because we're doing like planter plants back behind our garage. We're gonna do some cute like, you know, like planter plants, I guess. We're planning on doing, like, the way I kept showing my mom pictures of was sort of like a French garden, and I don't know, just this like a couple pictures that I saw on Pinterest. It's like has like what we have, like pea gravel like on the ground, or like stone, sort of, you know, like stonework on the ground, but then they have a bunch of like everything that's basically back there is all like potted plants. And because we ended up doing the pea gravel in the back behind the garage, we can't really grow anything back there, and you know, that was basically to prevent any more weeds from growing back there because back behind the garage was horrible. So we ended up doing that because we couldn't really put in like a deck back there or like, you know, do any type of like, and it was going to cost too much to like try and do pavers and all that stuff. And honestly, the pea gravel is pretty inexpensive and it's simple to do. You just got to put plastic down really and then just put the pea gravel over it. And I mean, we had to make sure it was sort of leveled out and everything like that, but it was a pretty simple, just like, you know, like use to that space, I guess, or solution, I guess, for that space. So like I said, that's what we're going to do, but we needed to get potting soil for that. My mom already has a couple plants and we have some big planters that we have left over. I think if we're going to need more, we're probably going to wind up going to like Old Time Pottery to pick up some of those, and they have got really big plants and pretty inexpensive too. Like Menards has them, but they seem like they're pretty expensive, so I didn't really want to do any of those ones. But like I said, we're gonna get those if we need more. But I counted, we have at least probably 6 to 8 of them already, and like not a ton. We'll probably will need more, but anyways, like I said, we have a decent amount at least to get started with, possibly. My mom ended up getting a couple of like bushes, sort of, and we're gonna probably need bigger planters for that. So anyways, that was a plan for back there, but we ended up getting that, plus we got more pea gravel because we were going to start doing, do the same thing, the pea gravel next to the spot next to our deck. We're doing like our grilling area over there, and we're going to do that with pea gravel over on that side because sort of for the same thing. It was a bunch of weeds. Like, it used to be my mom's herb garden over there and like partial garden space sort of over there, and then we turned it into like, then it was sort of grass, but then we sort of dug that up. it was not really evergrass, I guess. It was sort of a lot of weeds, but like crabgrass and like creeping Charlie was over there, and so we ended up digging that up, and then we were gonna put, I think we were gonna maybe do a deck or a floating deck, or we were going to do like pavers or something like that, but we decided again sort of against all of that and just we're gonna do the pea gravel. So we're going to do that, but the so we have some pea gravel that we're starting with that. And then we ended up getting all of our like vegetables today. We ended up getting a couple of varieties. So when my mom went to that plant fair though, like her plant sale thing like last week, she ended up getting a couple of varieties of like tomatoes, a couple different things. This melon, it's actually called a cucamelon. I guess it's like indigenous to like Mexico, and it's some type of like my mom was saying, like it's sort of like a grape, like the size of the little melons are like grapes, but they almost look like cucumbers, or they taste like cucumbers. I don't know. They're not like, but they're like little small little things. I don't know. She was showing me pictures. They're really cool, but she ended up getting one from there, and so we're going to do that. Hopefully it makes it because it was not looking too hot, but like I said, hopefully it will make it. And then we ended up, like I said, so we have 2 zucchini squash we ended up getting today. Like I said, a couple of other varieties of tomatoes. I think my mom got 2 last week, and 2 of the like pepper plants. We ended up getting another pepper, a couple more tomatoes, some cantaloupe, a couple varieties of cantaloupe, butternut squash. Oh, my mom also got horseradish last week, but like I said, we filled in a little bit with some of the stuff from today as well, from Menards. And so we ended up doing that. But we ended up, also, we had some seeds that we bought this year. And so honestly, because a lot of the stuff that we have, like, is already, like, mature, like, it will probably wind up making it, you know. And, like, really, we use a lot of the tomatoes. There's, again, a couple. Oh, we got spinach, I think, already. Like, already pre-grown spinach. But honestly, spinach is pretty quick to grow. And, like, it is really not gonna probably do so hot when it's really warm out anyway, but anyways, that's a whole different story. Oh, she also got arugula. We got arugula today too. So, like I said, there was that, but we did have some seeds. We also had seeds that we had from last year, so we ended up planting those. I have absolutely no clue if any of them are really going to wind up making it because, like I said, they were a lot of, like, last year's, but I have had success, honestly, in, like, again, couple-year-old seeds still wind up making it. So like I said, I'm not, like, you know, gonna be like, oh, you know, we waste all this money on these seeds that we didn't, you know, wind up having. We planted some of them last year and we still had some left over, so I was like, let's just throw those in there. Like, we had spinach, a bunch of varieties of spinach, so I just planted those near the spinach we already had. And again, sort of the same thing too, like we had, I don't think we didn't do any, like, tomato plants, but I think maybe we had pepper, and maybe we didn't. My mom had, I think, pepper seeds that she actually harvested herself, but like from a pepper plant. I think it was actually one of the ones we grew, like, last year. But I forgot what I was saying. We I don't think we planted those, but like we had corn, which I've never grown corn before. I know sort of how you're supposed to grow it, but we planted last year beans. And so what I actually did was I planted, because we're doing sort of like the post stamp or something, postal stamp like version of, like, gardening, because we do, like, the raised beds. So we basically have, like, 7 raised beds that are almost, I want to say they're maybe like 3 by 4 feet or something like that, or maybe 2 by 3 or 2 by 4 or something like that, feet. And so, like I said, I'm not totally sure of the dimensions, but we basically so we have about 7 of those. We just added another one today too, because my dad had all the wood. It was all ready to go. He just like plopped it on there. We ended up adding the dirt that we already had, and we added actually the zucchini that we bought, and then we also had yellow spinach or yellow squash seeds, so we planted those as well. And my mom took some pictures today, so maybe I'll include some of those for you guys as well. But we have like 7 of those, so we actually had, like, an equal amount. We had 4 on one side. Wait, no, is it 4, 7 we have? No, we have, I guess, 9 technically. We have, like, 4 on one side and then 4 on the other side. We just added a 5th one on the one side today, so I guess we do have that many. But the way I figure is that, like, it's like a double bed, because we take the middle board out when we go to add another bed, but still enough so that we're not, like, it's not like caving in or anything like that. But like, because we can't get the boards, like, we could get the boards, I guess, long enough, but the way my dad ended up doing it was just so that we can do double beds. So like I said, it's basically, like, I guess we have 9 beds right now. I don't know why I was saying 7. That's one thing my mom said. She was like, oh, we have 7 beds, but no, we don't. Like I said, so it's like a double bed though on each side, where, like I said, I think it's the 4 by 3 or 2 by 4 or something like that, but we have that doubled. So, like, one bed then would be like 2 by 8 or something like that, I think. And then we have, like, 2 of those 2 by 8 beds on either side. So, like I said, maybe if the pictures are included in there, it'll make a little more sense. And then we finished, like, a half of a bed basically today. But because of the way my dad's doing it, it was basically like we could do the whole half bed, and then just we'll add on the other pieces once he's done staining the wood. And then we can just pull the middle board out, and then it will just, you know, like, we'll have that space on both sides. So, like I said, that's what we ended up doing today as well. And then we got all the plants planted. Like I said, I even did seeds. And like I was telling my mom too, I was like, we'll just see what winds up sprouting up and what doesn't, just because, like, you know, if not, they were just like year-old seeds, we'll just throw them out anyway. And again, I just planted them in with stuff that we were like already planting anyway. And so instead of spending, because we spent a good amount of money, and honestly too, like most of the stuff that we bought were like, we'll pretty much just wind up using those things anyway. Like again, like the cantaloupe, the you know, tomatoes, that kind of stuff. So like even if we have a bed that like isn't really totally used because something didn't sprout in it, it's not like, you know, like dire, like, you know, we needed space or anything like that, because we're still adding beds on. And honestly, my dad really wants to finish all of the beds this year. So that is the hope, to have them all, like I said, finished this year. But long story short, we ended up finishing all of those. We just, like I said, there's some spaces that look like bare right now just because we just planted the seeds, and we'll see what winds up happening with them. But then we also put mulch all over the top. We also put down our soaker hoses and got those all set up as well, so that we can do all of the, you know, water everything pretty much like all at the same time and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, guys, that was what we did today. But it was a long process today to get all that stuff done. I am pooped, I am tired. Like I said, it was everybody ended up working. We also too had like 3 fence posts, like not posts, but like just like the stakes that were still in the ground. And those stakes go like, I don't even know, like 2 feet deep or something like that. And so we still had like 3 of them for some reason from our old fence over on the side. So Matthew and Jack actually ended up pulling those out today. Maybe there was 4 of them, I don't know. But they ended up doing that, and then they ended up working on some of the other stuff too. Like Jack helped put the beds in. Jack actually does a really good job now with the mulch ever since we did it 2 weekends ago or whatever that was. Like him and my dad, you know, like I guess my dad sort of knew how to do it and just like told Jack and showed him. And so today he was like super careful of the plants that were already planted to make sure like he didn't just like dump the bag on them and crush them all. He was very like gentle to make sure that you got like the mulch around it, because it was actually for a mission trip that we were working, I was like going to, we were working with like a company that did like mulching, and like they were going to like give us like, I don't know, half of the money to like help fund our trip. And so we were like, we worked for them for like a day, and it was like the whole day, but we ended up doing like, I think an apartment complex or something like that, where they went to like do mulch. And so like the guy explained to us and like showed us like how to do it and everything like that. So that's actually how I knew how to like properly, I guess, install mulch. But like that's why I was like trying to explain to my dad, like, don't crush any of the plants that are there, don't just like dump the mulch on top of them. You have to sort of like do it around the plants and then sort of like mound it near the plants. You don't want to like completely crush them by just like dropping mulch on top of them or anything like that. So you know, like I said, it's sort of common sense, but you know, it was just sort of like learning from that. Like, and I think my dad sort of knew that already, but then like I taught it to Jack too. And so like I said, he, like Matthew was out there helping him with it too, and like Jack was telling him how to do it. So I was like, Jack actually was being very helpful today, and like all the mulching, you know, sort of aspect of the garden bed and stuff like that. And then he also helped my dad put the new soil into the newest bed, because we had bags of, like I said, like the soil, the dirt that we needed to get in there. So he ended up helping with that too today. And then Matthew, I think, was doing something on the stairs, like sanding the stairs or something like that, so we can finally paint the stairs because it needs to be taken care of. So anyways, guys, long story short, there's a lot of stuff that we got done for today, but I will have a Jewel and Aldi haul for you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.